Your energy equals your reality. Okay, so I've already explained there are infinite versions of you. Okay, if you don't know what I mean by that, look up the many worlds interpretation by quantum mechanics. Every version of you that you can think of already exists. Okay, so your energy determines in which parallel universe or reality you live in, and each reality has their own harmonics. Okay, each reality has a unique vibrational frequency, and when you recreate that energy inside of you, okay, when you become that identity, for whom and through whom that universe is already real, the identity that already lives in that parallel reality, when you recreate that energy, when you become that person in energy, then you will experience that parallel universe, okay, that already exists. So never are you ever creating anything from zero, okay? You're just tuning your energy like a radio station, okay? You're just changing your energy to match the reality that you want that already exists. Okay? So I know many people say, like, okay, we are co-creators, of our own universe, and that is real, but it's not like you are really creating anything that doesn't already exist. Okay, what you're actually doing, okay, and I feel like this puts less pressure on people, I mean it should, is that basically your consciousness, okay, you're not really this physical body that's just a projection of your consciousness. But actually, what you're doing when you're changing realities, and you're doing this all the time, but when you want to consciously manifest your desired reality, you're just changing your consciousness, okay? You're changing your perception, you're changing the lens through which you view life. And when you start changing that lens, okay, your perception, then your reality starts to change, okay? And you, as the observer of your reality, that is who you really are, okay? Your consciousness, you're the observer of your reality. Then you observe yourself having the life that you actually want, okay? So your life is basically a movie, and this character, like, when you're looking at me, I'm just an avatar of, I'm the avatar in which my consciousness wants to project itself into this game, okay? But when the real me, the higher me, the consciousness that I am, changes its perception through which it views itself in this game, then the simulation must project a different version of me, okay? So this avatar will become a different persona, okay, a different identity. So when your perception changes, about the world, about your circumstances, about yourself, then, your attitude changes, and your actions that you take start to change, okay? You will take different actions. Maybe you will take more action or different actions, right? So often it's a combination of the two. So every version of yourself, thinks differently, does things differently. So it all depends on who you want to become, and then, you know, by changing your frequency, you naturally start to think and feel differently, and you start to also align your actions with that identity. So, yeah, because every reality has its own unique frequency, every thought that you think, every emotion you feel, and belief you hold, yeah, it all matters to a certain extent, because, like, literally every thought that you think is a different parallel universe, okay? So you don't want to align with anything that you don't want to be part of your reality experience, okay? You don't want to accept any thoughts, any beliefs that don't belong to you, okay? And you know what belongs to you and what doesn't, depending on, how good or bad they feel, right? So if you have beliefs that are positive, then, those feel good to you, and then those are beliefs that you want to keep, right? Beliefs that are bad for you, that don't feel good, yet you don't want to um, keep them as part of your identity. Okay, so yeah, you need to basically let them go. So yeah, that's why you do need to pay attention to what you're thinking, because negative thoughts, if you keep looping them, they will turn into negative beliefs. Okay, and beliefs manifest your reality experience. So feelings, well, are the indicator of what you believe. Okay, so you don't feel anything that you don't already believe to be true. So you know what you believe by how you feel about something, right? So you never have to question what you believe, because your feelings will always tell you. Yeah, changing your energy to match the reality that you want is a process. Okay, it's a lifelong process, because we are never done experiencing this reality construct that we're in, right? So we are on a constant path of evolution. So the journey is a destination. Okay, so don't feel like freaking out in the present moment, because you're not already where you want to be. Okay, you're constantly changing, you're constantly evolving, and where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. Okay, you don't need to be anywhere else, and you can only create in the present moment. So just be present and be the best you can be right now. Okay, well, thank you so much, and I love you. Check out my bio if you want one-on-one coaching with me, and if you want to check out my website for free articles. Okay, love you. Bye.